All right, and welcome to Who Cares?
That theme song's so trill.
It is. It is. Shout out to Justin J. Frenzy Hernandez.
Yes.
For letting us. Well,
we're using it before.
We got approval, but but that is "What Are Those" by J. Frenzy. Check him out on SoundCloud, Facebook. He's got all this shit. So
good shit.
He plays every now and then at Lush Wednesdays.
I've met him once at one of your, right?
Yeah.
A couple times, I guess. He always DJs here, right?
Yeah. He always DJs my parties. He's a good guy. Yeah, so there's a plug for J Frenzy.
There you go.
But yes, this is Who Cares. This is the first episode. My name is David Claar, and I have my partner.
I'm the Teach.
I got a teacher in this bitch, man.
Yeah.
So,
that's
but
right.
For privacy purposes, he's gonna be the Teach.
For privacy purposes, that's right.
That's
for
why.
The students later. The real students, y'all students too, but everyone's students.
Man, I'm already done with beer one, and barely started recording.
Chug 'em. I've been waiting for you for a couple hours now, and I've had few martinis.
Few martinis.
I think I said that wrong, but
no, who cares?
That's the point. I think is to say
exactly.
Wrong,
you say it's stupid. I always go. My go-to one is I'm not
as drunk as you think I am.
And I'm not as drunk. I'm not as drunk as you. No, I'm not as think as you drunk as I am.
Did I say it right?
You said it the right.
I said it right. I'm not as drunk as you think. Yeah.
I'm not as
That's how drunk
as I
kind of am right now, is that I can say it correctly.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And while we're talking, Teach, give us some background info on you.
Okay. Yeah. So, I'm a mathematics major, going to teach high school. We're using your full name, right?
Yeah.
You're good. I met David Claar. Did they call you Trip or Trey?
Trey.
Okay.
My family calls me Trey.
Yeah. I just think that's dope.
Right. And it's Trey, not Tre.
Oh, okay. Not like color
like
folk.
Trey. Not like the hood.
Not like color folk. No, it's funny because my friend, her nephew's a third generation. Is that what you say?
Yeah. Third generation.
And they call him Trip though, and I was like, his mother named him Trip. Like I was like, what? She was like, no, like Trip, like triple, like the third in the line. And she has the same name. I was like, okay, that's
Trips.
dope. And it's like a family name. Like the family uses it. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I wanted to go into teaching because I just like to learn some bullshit and talk a lot of bullshit. Because who cares?
Who cares, man?
You know what I mean?
We're going to say that 24/7 on this show. Because that's usually how me and Teach talk anyway to each other. Because we bring up a convo, we talk about it for like 30 minutes, and then we go, who cares anyway? But that's my opinion.
Yeah,
but
don't
whatever.
expect to get any answers because we end up going off these tangents that never get answered.
Exactly. We'll start a conversation. Like, we tried doing a prototype episode about a week or so ago.
Did you listen to it?
I listened to it. I listened to the whole 45 minutes. Not even. It's funny because when Teach gets drunk, he was talking a lot about math.
Oh, fuck.
We had like a 30-minute section on just
30
math.
minutes?
Dude, yeah, it was 30 minutes.
Oh my god. You gotta stop me on that because they know when you don't know about 30 minutes of math.
But no, it's okay. Because then I talked about 25 minutes about insurance.
People need to know about that shit. No, that's helping the people.
Well, math helps
free.
people too. For free.
No, the insurance thing is for real though. I got a story later about that.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. Yeah. That's crazy. But a little bit about me. It's like third time I'm saying, David Winkler the third. 3
times for,
Trey. Yeah. Trace. I am a licensed insurance agent. I do have my property and casualty license. I'm engaged. It's the love of my life who's in bed right now or doing homework right now, not appreciating the loudness from the living room.
Fuck her, I go to the same school. I love you, Leslie.
Right.
Oh, I can say your name, right?
Yeah, I don't care.
Don't say... I'm all anonymous, so...
I was like... Which, by the way, so like when we were doing the prototype episode to get the kinks out of the way, because I respect his privacy, and so, he doesn't want to say his name or his fiance's name, but you actually said it 3 times.
My fiance's name or my name?
Your fiance's name.
Oh, did I?
You said it 3 times,
Damn.
But then I said it once towards the end.
That's all I recognize.
Yeah, it's all you. Hey, don't say that name. You're going to have to delete that. And I was like, oh, okay.
You didn't recognize it either, though, right? Because it's just so casual.
Yeah,
How do you not say that? I got to work on that, yeah.
Yeah, but we're both engaged for... Well, I've been engaged for over a year now. It just hit a year with us. What about you?
You just said this is your first... Wait.
This was our first year of being engaged. We've been together for 3 years now, but we've been engaged.
Oh, we're doing that. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've been together for 8 years, and we've been engaged for about 4 years. So I think it's going on 4 years. I don't know the exact date on the engagement, but it's definitely been a while. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need to give her a name so that I don't... Because if you assign her name, I won't... Because I didn't even realize that. You
Mrs. Teach. Miss
Teach.
Mr. and Mrs. Teach.
Mr. and Mrs. Teach.
Because she's a teacher, too.
She is an actual teacher.
Yeah, so...
She is the actual...
Oh,
I have actually taken her name. Is how that... We're that progressive. I'm actually taking her name as Teach. I'm not Teach, but...
I'm going to be old school. Leslie's taking my last name.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But who cares? So first topic. So the first thing we brought up when we were talking about insurance, let's go ahead and get this one out of the way.
Oh.
Tell us about what happened with your car.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
Need the wet naps.
It's so good. Okay, so what happened was, long story short, a couple weeks ago, my upstairs neighbor broke my side view mirror. Is that what they call it? Side view? Rear view is up top, right? Rear view?
Your side mirror.
Side view mirror?
Side mirror?
Side mirror?
Who cares?
Okay, who cares? I'm gonna call it side view because I just feel like that's more proper. I don't know. Side view mirror. He broke it. I don't know. Those motherfuckers bend. I've had plenty of cars. This is 2017. I've had it for like 3 weeks. Now it's 4 weeks or 5 weeks I've had it. 3 weeks at the time. He claimed that he opened his door too hard and it shattered and it's like a cheap car. He's trying to make it seem like... I'm like... I saw him holding heavy things. I'm pretty sure he put his shit down. Anyways, long story short. It broke the night of... I was out expecting him when he drove back up and was like, hey man, you know what? That was me. My bad. He handed me the mirror and the casing to it and was like... Here it is. I'm sorry. I'm gonna fix it for you. I will figure it out. We're gonna take care of it. I was like, I'm just glad no one's fucked with me because I didn't see the mirror or the shell on it, and I was like, damn, someone fucked my mirror up on purpose. Like they're fucking with me, which doesn't make sense because I don't think I'm that mean of a person or anything. Right. So for him to just be like, oh, I just broke it and I just held it onto it because I did not make a mess and whatever. So that was all well and good. So the next couple days go by. We go to the dealership to see how much it costs. They tell me it's going to be about $500. And I'm like, shit. So the weekend, it had been a weekend, and on that Saturday, he was like, hey man, just to let you know, I didn't forget about it. Here's $100, and let me know what else is needed. He seemed real cool about it. He was like, so I had $100 and we went to the dealership and I was like, fuck, it's $500. That sucks, but okay. So I go up to him and I'm like, it's $500. And he's like, are you kidding me? It's $500. That's insane. I could buy a whole door. He's giving me all this pushback. And I'm like, he's like, it's just this piece. It shouldn't be $500. It's just this piece. It's just this piece. And I'm like, well, I don't know shit about cars. Like, all I know is that I gave you like half a week because you said you would fix it. I was down with that. You said you don't have time. You said to let me do it. I said, I don't know. I'm going back to the dealership and this is how much it is. And he's like, well, this and that. Well, okay, fuck it. He was kind of giving me pushback. Then he was like, well, he's going to take me some time. I was like, that's fine. I have another car I can use. Take your time. If you can give me $100 next week and another $100 next week. And then, you know what? I'll even pay the rest, right? Haven't heard from him in a week and a half, right? So... I'm all debating in my head. I'm all like, well, fuck, he didn't have to say anything. I would have had to eat this all myself, pay everything unless I got $100. And I'm like, this guy seems kind of stupid. Like, the way he did, I'm sure he just thinks he did the good thing. And you know what? He's my upstairs neighbor. I don't need him all fucking banging on the whatever. I was ready to let it go and just eat and just pay for it myself. I was like, at least I got $100 out of it. Because he could have said nothing.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
that I was okay with that, but I was like, I'm gonna rationalize it that way.
But still, he can't be like, oh, here's the info, but never mind.
Yeah. So I was ready to do that because I don't know, I'm a pussy. So I was like, I just don't want too much. I'm gonna live here. I just moved in. I don't want any fucking conflict. I just, you know what? Let's just move. I'm kind of like, I wish he just didn't say anything so I could just, not know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Jihei goes home to... Oh, fuck.
Man. We'll find a way to fix that. Mrs. Teach comes home.
Yeah. Gets home. Or earlier than I do, because I had class, and she goes to another body shop to see how much it is, because we were like, maybe it can be cheaper. Maybe he does feel like... look at us trying to be in his shoes when we should just be fucking angry, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're like, maybe he thinks we're taking advantage, this and that. So we go to another body shop and to see maybe it can be cheaper. Same fucking price. Because they're like, oh, maybe used. They're like, when was it made? 2017. They're like, there's no used parts for 2017. We're in 2017. Like, you can't do that. So she goes by herself. I can't even believe that she did this and she didn't wait for me. And I've been putting it off myself too, but she was like, I need to just do it because you're going to be too fucking nice. Because she's right, I would have been too fucking nice. She goes by herself. Thankfully, his girlfriend's there. And she goes, it's this much. I mean, and this is like, I'm ad-libbing. She was like, it's this much, motherfucker. Like, she didn't say that.
Yeah.
But basically, she's like, it's this much. This is how you know these people ain't shit either. She said she knocked on the door for 5 minutes. Like, a good, hard 5 minutes. And then no one answered, and then when they did answer, it was their high school fucking kid that answered the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know who we are. Like, this and so she goes, I need to talk to Kurt, because he told us his name. And she goes, I think his name is Kurt. That's what I remember. And the high school kid's like, huh? What? And she goes, I need to talk to the guy who broke my car. Who damaged my car. So then the girlfriend comes in, who we haven't talked to really. And the girlfriend is and Mrs. Teach has the statement or whatever for the price. And then she comes up and goes, what do you need? What is this? Give it to me. What is this? So Miss Teach goes, excuse me. And I know that I wasn't there, but how she can't lie. Like, she really can't embellish anything, like a story. Like, she can't tell stories well. Like, she always tells it really blandly. So her telling me this is the truth. Like,
exactly, yeah.
Like, it really is how it went. So she goes, excuse me, I don't need to talk to you. I need to talk to your boyfriend who damaged my car. And she goes, and then the girl changed her tone and said, Kurt, come here. She goes, you know what? Actually, you need to stay. Because your car, I need your insurance.
Oh, man. Forget it.
Oh, shit. I can't even imagine Miss Teach talking like that. Like, I'm half hard right now thinking about it. Like, it's so funny. Like, I've never, and I know it's true. Like, I know this because, again, she can't tell a story well. So, like, and it's so good. It's so good. So she tells the girl, I need you to stay because I need your insurance. Actually, motherfucker. I keep thinking that's what she's saying. You bitch. I keep like she's Samuel Jackson in this bitch. Like, she's
motherfucker.
Like, yeah, motherfucker. So they come up and the guy is like, he's like a Neanderthal. Like, he really, like, I knew he was, like, he just wasn't like, and I told her too, I was like, I'm like, I know this is not good to say, and like, don't think less, I'm like, but we're just kind of better of them. Like, we're just better people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
there's people out there that you could just know.
Yeah, they're like, they're trying to sneak around this, right? Because he kept saying, I didn't have to tell you. I hope you didn't have to tell you. But it's like, you did. And that doesn't mean shit. You gotta follow through. Like, if I went and smashed up your fucking vanity and it was like, hey, I did it though, you're good though, right? Because I told you. Like, that don't mean shit, right? Like, and then he was like, look, I'm not spending $500 on a fucking mirror. He kept saying that. And this teacher's like, she's been dealing with kids all this. She's like, excuse me, sir, I'm not gonna tolerate that language. She's like, I'm not, she laid it down. She was like, I'm not going to tolerate that language. And she goes, you know what? I need your insurance. And then they were like, well, you don't. And she goes, you know what? I'll just call the cops. I called my insurance and I just need to call the cops. She started walking down the stairs. And the girlfriend had some damn sense in her and was like, you know what? No. Come back. Let's talk about this. Let's check it out. So Miss Teach got it in writing, you know, they're going to give us $200 tomorrow. They gave us $100. They're going to give us $200 tomorrow, and they're going to give us $100 next week.
Okay.
And they got it right. And I know that ain't shit, because ain't nothing notarized.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, let's get it notarized.
None of this
then
ain't
it's official.
shit. And we know this, but they ain't shit either, and they don't fucking know that. All that really did was let them know that we about it. You know,
as long as you told them it's on legal paper.
It's on, right. And it's on the statement and shit. Yeah, they're all like, oh my God. But I mean, they really do. Because honestly, we're being fucking nice. We're still being fucking nice because we could still call the cops. We could still.
You could. And me being the insurance agent, I'd be like, oh, fuck them. Like, call the cops. Like, when Leslie got into an accident not too long ago, some punk kid with no driver's license, conveniently on his way to go get his driver's license to go take his test, rear-ended, you know, my fiance, which sounds bad, but you know, she was braking, and you know, and this guy wasn't paying attention. Excuse me, and you know, crashed right into her. So, and because you know, Leslie works at a call center for an insurance company, and you know, and me having my license, you know, work with the same company she works for, and then working in a different one. I was like, did you do this, and this? Because yeah, I was worried my fiance got into a car accident.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you do this, and this? She called the police. She did everything. She got all the information right off the bat. She already knew what to do.
Yeah.
And so when this kid's all nervous. I keep saying kid, but he's our age. He's like a year younger than us.
We all kids.
We all kids.
Yeah.
And so then he's asking her questions. Oh, am I going to get in trouble for this? Is my insurance going to do this? Yeah, Leslie's like, yeah, this XYZ is going to happen. You know, more than likely, you know, your parents' insurance company is going to cancel because you know you're an undisclosed driver and this and that, and you're not on their policy. And so the kid's like,
yeah, she told him that.
Yeah, I was
fucking
like,
savage.
He's like, oh,
you didn't gotta tell
him. Like, oh shit, like
you didn't gotta tell him. See, it's different though. If it was an intersection, and I've been in a few accidents randomly out in public. You know, public, yeah, you know, the public. Where you know this one happened in my living room. So, but and that was the first thing you do. I've always called the police when it was a big accident. But this one was kind of different because, first of all, I was walking the dog. I walked down the stairs. And I saw him coming down holding something, and my dog actually cut him off by accident. You know, he went left and cut him off down the stairs. And he kind of stopped, and the guy is deaf. He has an earpiece. So I remember being like, oh, I'm so sorry. And, like, I'm not embellishing. Like, I really did. Like, I was super sorry. Like, I was like, I'm so sorry. Because he was at the stairs and everything, too. But he didn't say nothing, and I was like, he didn't hear me. He's deaf. So I took my dog around, and when I came back, the mirror was broken. Yeah. And I really thought, I knew it was him, though, because I knew he parked next to me. So I was like, this motherfucker smashed my window out of, like, anger.
Of the dog
cutting him off. But when he came up and was like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, like, it was an accident, and I'm going to take care of it, and this and that. I was like, okay, so it wasn't the dog. He's not so crazy. And then when I was like, you told me, so now you do have to fix it. It's like, but he was kind of crazy. He still was kind of crazy. The only reason we didn't call the cops at first is what I'm getting at, is that they live right above us. And they were already fucking loud. They were so fucking loud. And I'm like, I don't want beef with them being so, you know what I mean? Because they can really make our lives miserable without doing too much.
Yeah.
And without it being like something we can do anything about. Because all they have to do is fucking walk hard.
Walk with bricks on their
Dewey Cox, walk hard. Is that
walk hard.
You can always come in my back door. In my dreams, you're blowing me some kisses. I want that playing at my wedding.
Right, man.
The grandparents would never get it.
I'm like, oh, such a sweet song. Is this Johnny Cash?
I'm blowing you some kisses, of course. Yeah. So, we got it in writing. I'm doing quotation marks. But yeah, if they don't... And then... I'm only speculating what Miss Teach was telling me throughout the day. She was like, at first she was real snappy. The girlfriend was like real like...
That's how they usually
trying to talk, But then when she realized... we really are doing them a favor. Like
you guys are.
We really are. And I think the guy still thinks we're like gypping him or something. Or like trying to get money out of him. and we're not. Like, we're not.
No, shit's fucking expensive.
The
Like,
shit is, it was 3 weeks old. Like, it had 9 miles on it. Like.
No, I would be in the same position. Like, even my car right now, like, I actually almost got into an accident today. Like, just bringing it up, because I left
San
work.
Antonio, man.
Yeah, and that's why the state of Texas insurance keeps going up. But anyway, before I get into that, before I get all riled up about that information, I was driving home because I left work a little bit early because I wanted to come home and clean up and everything. Get it nice for you.
You been home early, motherfucker?
Yeah, but when Leslie got home, we ate dinner and everything like that.
Yeah, no, I knew that.
When you texted me,
Was that weird? I was trying to be like, take your time.
Okay. It was funny because you texted me while we were at Dairy Queen getting food to pick up.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I was like, oh, cool.
Because I wanted to implement that I'm ready, but don't rush. Like, take your time. And I'm serious about that.
Yeah.
But at 9:30 came out, I was like, damn, nigga, like, you taking a lot of time.
No, yeah. No, and that's my fault, but I had to take a dump right before you come over.
For sure.
So I left work a little bit earlier today, and then I was driving home, and I was driving right down Wurzbach, like over by Ingram Park Mall, like the back roads and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And
like Roxbury and
yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And so like I'm driving down, and there's this car in front of me who is driving super slow, like just unnecessarily slow, and I'm like, man, I'm like debating, I'm like, well, he has his turn signal on, he's going to turn right soon.
He must be an old man.
And I was like, so I actually didn't get to see, and I was like, okay, so he should be turning soon. I don't have to get into the next lane, do that whole speed up, pass you thing.
Right.
I should be fine. So as we're getting closer to the light, like to the turn where he can turn, he comes to like he slams on his brakes. And I'm like, oh shit, so I like, my first instinct is to go into the lane to my left, because I'm in the far right lane, So I was like, I'll go in the next lane over. So, but I didn't, and this again is my fault, like I know it, like I didn't look in my mirror, and as I turned left real hard, another car was coming by, like a Mustang was speeding by, and I was like, oh shit. So I swerved right back into my lane, let that car pass, but then I got really close to the car in front of me,
the one that was going slow.
The one that was going slow, because now this person's like at a dead stop. Yeah. Like, oh shit.
You're at the corner.
So then I look again, no car's coming to my left, but then the car behind me slams on their brakes because they're about to hit me. So then I turn into the left lane again, past this asshole, and I turn right back right. Like I'm doing like Snoop Dogg when
you was touched by an angel, girl.
I was. And so like I'm fucking, and then I speed off because I'm like, son of a bitch. So then the next light I get to, the Mustang is right next to me, and he rolls, like the one I almost crashed into by not looking. He rolls his window down, I roll my window down. He's like, "Hey, what the fuck, man?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm so sorry." I was like, that car in front of me was driving like an asshole. I was like,
you were able to.
Yeah, and I was like, bro.
State your point.
I was like, bro, I'm so sorry. I was like, are you okay? Is your car okay? Do we need to pull over? And he was like, oh, no. He goes, are you good? And I was like, I'm good, bro. I was like, I almost fucking crashed into that car.
Hey.
And he was like, well, at least you're good. He goes, we're fine, man. And then the light turned green and he took off.
That's that Texas hospitality.
Exactly. Like, I can understand why he was pissed off at me. I drove like a little bitch.
But you swerved into him, like him passing you, or
like,
in front of him?
I'm doing hand motions right now. So like, So here's the car that was in front of me. Here's me. Then the guy starts slowing down, and then he slows so fast.
I get. So you swerved left.
Yeah. So I turned left,
and there's a Mustang coming up.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit! So I swerved back like that, and then I almost crashed into him.
Then the Mustang probably must have swerved a little out too?
Yeah.
And then
this guy's like at the complete stop, so I just jolt my steering wheel.
But he's past you at this point.
Yeah, the Mustang's already.
Okay. It was just that first jolt that you had left. You kind of fucked with his trajectory.
Yeah, and that's where he was like, "Oh shit!" Like I'm pretty sure you got. Oh no!
And meanwhile, he should have been able to see that this was going on. Like,
but I should have checked too.
You should have checked. Yeah. Well, actually, you probably should have just hit him, right? Like that would have been.
Well, no, because then it would have been my fault for being reckless. I didn't have my signal on. I didn't check my mirror.
No. You should have hit the guy in front of you for.
Oh, that too.
Is that how that? I don't know.
I don't know what they would deem in that situation.
Is he driving under the speed limit?
Oh, way under the speed limit.
So, but how do they figure that out?
I don't know.
Right? Yeah.
On that aspect, I don't know.
Because technically, as far as your account is concerned, he was way under the speed limit. But
exactly.
Who knows how that really worked?
And who really cares? But that's.
Who cares?
I almost died today, so we almost didn't get to film this.
I care, David, for that one. I care. Don't die on me. Not on podcast day.
Not on podcast day.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're typically gonna film this every Wednesday.
And then it'll post it on
Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening or so. Because I gotta edit it.
You got the time,
then...
yeah.
Yeah,
that's quick, dude. Fuck, I feel like my days bleed together. Like, but they bleed together and then they're slow at the same time. It's like if you bake a pie crust and you bake it so hot it burns on the end, but it's raw under. Like, that's what my week feels.
It's all chewy.
That's my week. Like, it's burning on the outside, but raw. Like on the like it's going so slow. It's not really cooking, but it's like everything's on fire and it sucks. Like, that's my week right now. Like, I swear. So I got to work at 6 a.m. I'm a file clerk for a intellectual property law firm. It takes me forever to say that. I have to think about each word because, like, I'm a file clerk for a intellectual property law firm.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
official.
Yeah, and I make my own hours and I go to school. So I only work on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and to make the most amount of hours I can with my school schedule because they're closed on the weekends, I have to get there at least 6. I mean, I could get there at 5 if I wanted to, but...
No, fuck that.
But even 6. I mean, no one gets there till 8. And sometimes I don't get there till 7, but... but 6. And really, the thing is, I got there at 6 today, and I was running files. Like, I'm kind of behind because of school and this and that, and I have been doing dentist stuff. I fucking pulled the tooth last week.
Which delayed our first episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is okay, It's your
I'm
help.
still missing 2 of them. The coding helps today.
Oh, man, lucky.
Yeah, it's nice. But yeah, 6 a.m. this morning, I was running shit. And I had I did have a dentist appointment today too, a checkup for last week.
Oh, really?
So I took an hour and a half out, and so when I got back, I just hit the ground running. I'm still fucking behind, and then I went to class. I was in Cal 3 today class, and I was doing mathematical proofs homework in Cal 3 so that I could get home and do math methods homework so that I could make it here tonight. Because really, if before the podcast, I wouldn't have done it that way. I would have sat in class and took better notes. But Cal 3 is you just kind of have to review shit. The class doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just funny about these math classes. They don't really fucking matter because the teachers are foreign and Asian, and you can't understand them. You just have to look at their notes and try to figure it out later. So sitting in class, you might as well do another professor's homework. You know what I mean? Just show up, get your attendance grade, and do other homework because you ain't gonna understand them anyways. But I made it. Fuck, I'm here.
You're here. We made it.
Missing a tooth, missing a class, all that shit. I'm here.
Just for who cares?
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's love.
And
I'm checking emails throughout the night. Nothing.
Yes,
y'all motherfuckers need to email me.
We have an email set up, which I still need access to.
Oh, yeah.
Because then that way I can post the videos to the YouTube page.
Yeah.
And
I made the password a good one. It's easy for both of us.
Sweet. Because that's how, because I used to have a metal show, a metal podcast called All Things Metal.
It was David Claar. Too. It was good.
It was good, but I got lazy with it because...
you typecast yourself, though.
I did.
You know what I mean? You made it too short.
And that was one of the things, too, that put me off because it's like... I love metal music. That's one of my favorite genres of music is metal. Like death metal, heavy metal, 80s metal, everything like that. I love it. And so, like, I was like, you know what? And everybody would tell me, hey, you know so much about metal music. Why don't you just talk about it? Why don't you create a podcast? Which the music we played at the beginning, Jay Frenzy, he's one of the ones that told me I should do it. And I was like, you know what? You're right.
That's not metal, is it?
Yeah, well, I love EDM, too, and everything. I'm wearing my EDC Las Vegas tank top.
They have that extremism to them that...
Exactly. It's like...
I guess you're attracted to.
I just like heavy stuff.
This is the password.
Nice. I almost said it out loud.
Yeah, don't say it out loud.
I almost said it out loud.
Go to do 1, 2 though, right? It's easy to remember. You're like...
Exactly. And it was like, But yeah, so like when I did the All Things Metal, I was like, okay, so I made 3 episodes. And then like I just...
I listened to all 3 of those episodes.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
You did.
And you'd listen to the live streams too.
I did participate in the live streams as well.
You did? And so there's not new things every single month.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it would really be just like, oh, I'm still waiting for the new tool information. I'm still waiting for new System of Down info. It's like, so I got bored with it.
To do that podcast, I feel like this type of podcast is different because it's an interactive, more or less, podcast.
And we talk about things that just pop up. And
so I've listened to podcasts that are like, you know, I'm fucking weird and like boring shit. So I've listened to like philosophy podcasts where they start from like Plato, Greek, and like all they do is just talk about this ancient fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's been mathematic ones too that start with like I'm gonna make up an Heracles. So with the guy with the fucking crown in the tub, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
you know, the displacement, whatever. Anyways, but the thing is that they start from the very beginning, and then their podcast is kind of limited though. But they can stretch it out for like 20 episodes and that. But they have this. So like the one you did, I feel like it should have been like this kind of archive kind of thing where it's like, let's start off back in the. I don't know how far metal, but like
all
the
they do
60s.
Back to like,
That's
yeah, like 40s,
go like
50s.
to the 40, yeah, whatever. I don't know if they go back in the 40s.
Yeah,
but
it started with jazz music.
Well, okay, see, there you go, bam. So, you know, you would be like, jazz music, this and that, and then like, but again, it is limited, because then once you can siphon off how many episodes you do up until present time, then they become kind of stagnant, because you have to wait for new material, which...
Exactly.
Kind of, your material has been kind of like past events, so...
Mm-hmm. And then with that, and because I started doing that in about, I want to say either like November, December of 2016, and then
damn, was it that long ago?
Yeah, dude, like it's really been that long.
Days bleed together.
Mm-hmm. And so like it got to the point where I was like, okay, yeah, like I was like, oh, I'll do it in January, like I'll do it for sure in January. But then I got a lot of positive feedback when I was doing the live feeds on Facebook, and then I was like creating the pages for it and everything like that. I got a lot of positive feedback, and people were like, you know, a couple people were like, hey, I'm waiting for you to put it out now because I need something to listen to. I know you were one of those people that told me that.
Yeah.
So like I was like, you know what, fine, I did it. But then like I got so excited, and I would talk about more things on one episode than I had planned for like a different episode.
Oh, and that took from it.
And then I was like, and then like I would have to readjust what I would talk about.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And then
that type of podcast is hard to keep up with.
Exactly.
You really have to be really strict with what you can talk about.
Mm-hmm. What were you originally talking about right now, though? Before I talked about the
Who cares?
Who cares?
You know what? It's a good time for Who Cares?
Smoke break?
Smoke break.
Smoke break. And we're about 30 minutes in, so we're almost towards the halfway point. So
we're halfway point.
So we're going to take a smoke break. All we're doing is we're pausing the recording, and then we're going to come back to hopefully synchronize.
And rehash everything we talked about.
Recap.
Or rehash. That's rehash. Rehash.
All right.
And it won't be as cool because it's going to be raw when I'm outside smoking. But...
No problem. But after these commercial messages.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Woo.
We're back.
Whoop, whoop.
Wasn't like on the prototype episode when we said it at the same time. And we're back. Like
I actually was about to say it, but then I just stopped a little bit. I had a drink break.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Drink break.
Drink break.
Hey, we haven't cheersed at all tonight.
Oh,
Let's do that real quick.
Drink break. Glug glug.
Glug glug.
Yeah.
So me and Teach right now, we were talking about religion. When we were on our smoke break, well, he was on his smoke break.
This will come up a lot, I feel like, religion.
I think it will, because, and like, so you're Buddhist.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, and I respect that. I respect all religions. I'll say that right off the bat.
I do too.
But my main thing, and I'm about to vent a little bit right now. Sorry if I preach.
Let it out.
I gotta say it.
Let's get the soapbox. Get it out.
Here we go. So like, my parents, they weren't really religious.
Okay.
They went to church as kids. Both of them, you know, individually.
Where did they? Do you know what denomination they were?
I think just Christian. They just went to church. Well, my mom.
Hey, let me ask you this. Actually.
Yes, go for it.
What is your viewpoint on Christianity and then the denominations of Christianity? Or I feel like that's me giving you a little more, but I want to hear yours. So I have a friend that's Catholic. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna give this little tidbit and then I'm gonna give it back to you.
Yeah, you're fine.
I have this friend that is a Catholic, like she was raised Catholic and this and that. She's like, I am Catholic. And then if I'm like, yeah, I get it, you're Catholic, so you're Christian. She's like, no, I'm not Christian. I'm Catholic. Catholic for her is a very different denomination.
Like, no, it's this.
Like, I am Catholic, Christians practice something else. I'm Catholic, I practice this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Me, I think it's all the same shit.
Okay.
I think it's all the same, just different titles on the church.
Okay.
So, like, like my parents, they went to church.
The way you said that too, yeah, they're Christian. They were Christian.
They were Christian, Catholic. Because like I still don't get it, and I didn't talk a lot about it as a kid. My parents really didn't force that on us.
So could they have been Catholic? You just don't know.
They could have. My mom more than likely, because my mom's parent, my mom's
She's
Mexican,
Hispanic, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so like, but as of right now, and for the longest time that I've known, my mom's mother, my grandma Lopez, she is a Jehovah's Witness. Okay. And, she goes to Spanish churches and everything. Because my grandma doesn't really speak
That's like
English
Catholic
that well.
Plus.
Yeah, like pretty much, like the premier package.
Yeah.
So, like, but my mom went to church as a kid, didn't really like it. She got bored, this and that. My dad went to church as a kid, didn't like it. He got bored and everything. So I guess internally they just thought, whenever I have kids, we're not going to
They were like,
take them
my
to
parents
church.
are Christian, I'm Christian, but I don't really practice.
Exactly. And so when we were kids, we never went to church. I had friends that go to church and stuff, but they always complained about how boring it was, this and that. And it's like,
Did you ever do BRCC?
What's that?
Okay, you didn't.
And I was like, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
But so like I've been to church 3 times, and they were all in Spanish, and they were with my mom's mama. It was the Jehovah's Witness church over on Five Palms.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where I'm from. Yeah.
And so like I don't know, but like, cause me being a metalhead, I believe in God, and all that stuff. Like I say that, and like I believe in what's good and what's right. My personal thing, which I say a lot, I don't think you need a book to tell you how to be a good guy. I don't think you need a specific person to say, no, this is what you do and you're a good person, or if you do this, you're a bad person. I just think if you're not a dick, you're awesome. Like, Amen. Cool. I was like, amen. I just think, like, that's just how I think.
Preach on, preaching.
I was like, I just think that's how it is, because my parents taught me what's right from wrong, be nice to people, respect other people, who cares who they are or what they do or whatever they practice, whatever. Just be nice to people. Don't be mean. So it's like, that's what I've always thought. Like, that was my kind of thing. I never really had a religion. But as I was growing up and listening to metal music and stuff, and I can't control what these bands put as their logos or what these bands, sing about, talk about and stuff.
Preach.
Exactly.
Preach, maybe.
Oh, man. I was like, like my favorite band of all time, Iron Maiden. One of their most famous albums, The Number of the Beast.
Amen.
And the chorus of the song goes, 666, the number of the beast, 666, the one for you and me. I wasn't there like, oh yes, the devil. I was like, man, this is just a catchy song. Like,
you had no really reference to 666, I imagine. Did you know
kid,
that it was the devil?
I knew it was like evil, but like I didn't know it was like, oh shit, like these guys are
heretical.
Heretical.
I'm trying to say heretic.
Heretic.
I'm making heretical as a word, as a verb of that.
Right.
I think that works.
It works for me. But who cares?
Who cares?
So like, it's like, whatever. Like, that's always been whatever to me. But the main thing where it started really become, like, an issue was when I was in high school. And, I was the kid. I wore metal band t-shirts to school. I wore, shirts with the devil on them.
I've heard the story.
I was like, there was a girl that was in one of my classes, which was kind of just like a one-off class because it was my senior year. She was so, like, crazy into Christianity.
Or something.
Yeah, it was something stupid. And it was like...
Study hall.
She was so into Christianity, and she told me every day that she was going to save me. Yeah. That she was going to show me the horizon, and that she was going to help me get into heaven.
That is such a big part of Christianity, too. Which is, to me, a problem. But
I was like... And, if she wants to feel like she needs to do something cool for herself, or she needs to be right by God, whatever. But I'm just like, okay, look, I respect you. If you have fun doing that, you have fun doing the soup kitchens and shit. Awesome. That's how you spend your time. I go to work. I wear fucking Cannibal Corpse shirts to my school, like with the naked ladies being ripped apart with demon generals and surgeons.
The Iron Maiden itself is fucking.
I was like, yeah, it had the devil on it, and I wore t-shirts that on the back had pentagrams and shit like that. But they were just my favorite bands, like. And so, like, and I have a pentagram tattoo over my heart, which coincidentally sounds bad, but. It's like, I don't know, I just can't help it.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
I got a devil on mine, too.
I was like, I love that tattoo.
Yeah, demon head.
And it's like, I think the demon aspect, like, as I've gotten older, I think that stuff looks cool. Would I personally practice Satanism? No. It's like that's a little bit too intense.
My thing is I got it kind of it's like a tribal tattoo.
Yeah, it looks tribal, yeah.
And I like when people, like really Christian people, will be like, is that this is how they say it, they go, is that a demon head? And I'm like, is that what you see? I always try to like, it's actually a Rorschach. Is that what you see? A demon head? Like, and they're kind of like, kind of. Is that what? Yeah. Like, no, it is. It's supposed to be, but
yeah, it's like, I don't know. And like with me, like, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you practice. Like, just don't try to pin it on me. Like, you know, if you're saying you have problems with that kind of stuff, I've always listened to my friends' complaints and everything, and I'll be like, well, you know, this is what you do. Me personally, I'm like, it all stems from my parents. My parents taught me not to be a dick. Mm-hmm. You know, of course, they say it to a kid, you know, don't be mean to other people, respect others. Right. You know, this the
that's
golden
nothing
rule.
To do with religion. That's a normal society.
Exactly. Like, it's like, be a good person. Like, you shouldn't you shouldn't be like, no, I'm only a good person if I read this book and if I practice what this guy
points
preached.
to come up. Christian and Catholic, and then being a good person with the synonymous with the words asocial and antisocial. We need to discuss that too, because I have a feeling. I got a way of feeling about that, all that shit. So.
Speak, man, speak.
Okay, so first of all, let's go into the Christian Catholic thing. Mm-hmm. Christianity. To be a Christian, all that means is that you believe in Jesus Christ, the Christianity point of it, as your Lord and Savior. That makes you a Christian. If you believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you are a Christian. Now, it's think of it as an umbrella, a giant umbrella. Christianity is a giant umbrella and in the middle, that umbrella is labeled Jesus Christ. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. If you're under the umbrella of Jesus Christ as your Savior, you're a Christian. It is what it is. Under the umbrella of Jesus Christ / Christianity, you have different denominations. Starting off the biggest one, the giant one that caused all this shit, is Catholicism.
Yeah.
Catholicism is a denomination, a subset of Christianity. They believe in Jesus Christ. Now, it's the biggest, most powerful source of Christianity, but it is a subset, no matter what, of Christianity. And then you got, you know, your Baptists, your Methodists, your Lutherans, your Gnostics, your Agnostics, you know. I'm sorry, agnostic is not part of that. But Gnostic, there is a Gnostic religion in Christianity that died out back in like the 16th century. But if you believe in Jesus Christ, so if you're a Catholic, you're a Christian. So and I still, to this day, fight with my friend about that, because she's like, I'm not Christian. She thinks of Christianity as being like a Baptist or something. And she thinks Catholicism is like its own sect, but it's still under the umbrella of Christianity. Okay. That is what that is. Now, being a good person, don't killing anyone. You know, there's these rules we have as a society. Society being the key word. Society. You don't kill your neighbor. You don't break their mirror and not pay for it. You know.
The fucking guy. I hope he listens.
You don't take a shit in the yard. You know, use the bathroom.
Like the mad pooper running around.
Mad pooper. That'll come up too. You know, you don't litter, you this and that. There's this thing, and then there's these kind of gray areas where, like, well, if I'm on a boat, I'm just gonna throw my trash out because there's nowhere else to put it. Whatever, I don't know. There's a thing of society that we hold as rules. So, antisocial. See, a lot of people. What do you think of antisocial when I say that? What comes to mind? There is a right or wrong answer.
Well,
but, and I'm not trying to make you sound stupid.
No, I got you. So on antisocial, I look at two different things. I look at probably the one the most common people associate antisocial with, not talking to people, inside their house, everything like that. That's the most common one a lot of people default to. I also see antisocial as not conforming to typical things.
Yes.
You know, like, I'm gonna do my own thing. You know, kind of like the whole punk rock movement. They were the antisocial. You know, their music was different. You know, they didn't tune their guitars and shit. You know,
they don't conform.
Exactly. They do their own thing. Like, you know, that kind of thing. You know, I see both sides of that spectrum, and I think antisocial.
Okay, those two sides of your spectrum actually have two different words. It's totally different things.
Really?
Yes. The punk aspect too would be more of a gray area though, actually, because of the conformity thing. Antisocial though literally means, if you look at the word anti-social, it's against society. Society says you don't kill. Society says if something goes wrong, you call the police. They take care of that. If you call someone, you go to a hospital. Our society takes care of those really extreme aspects. Antisocial, you really see more in gangs. Gangs are antisocial. They're not antisocial in the sense that they don't talk to anyone. Each other. See, a lot of people think gangs antisocial. That doesn't make sense. They're in a gang. They have a group. They like people. There's a big group of them.
They like the colors.
They get along with a bunch of people like themselves. That's not antisocial. No, their whole group is antisocial because what do? If someone wrongs them, they don't go to the police. They kill them.
They take care of themselves.
If someone gets hurt, they try to fix it without the society knowing. That's antisocial. That's anti-conformism. The other side where no one talks, they're reclusive, they stay in their room.
Introvert.
Introvert is an aspect of asocialism. Asocial means not against, but a different form of social. They are not social in the direct sense that they don't like to talk.
Kind of like they don't need other people to...
They don't need... Sometimes they do, and it's a problem psychologically talking, but at the same time, most people would seek out comfort from other people, and a social person does not seek out that person. It's like asexual.
That's what I was just thinking.
Person doesn't
they depend on themselves for
their
production.
They only need themselves. They just want to be in their room, on their computer, on their TV, on their book, their whatever they're doing. Asocial and antisocial are totally different. So you always see these memes that are like, I'm not antisocial. I just don't like to... It's like, yeah, you're not antisocial. You don't go kill people for, tag in your house or something. You're asocial, and that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
You just don't like to talk to people. You're not against society, antisocial. You're asocial. You're a subset of society that doesn't like to talk to other people.
Exactly. No, and that makes sense. Like, and see...
It does make sense. It's a science.
Yeah. I'm not disputing that. I'm just like, exactly. Me personally, I wouldn't. I've never heard that information.
I'm not saying like. No, I'm just saying like. And the thing is I'll have people that I try to tell this to, and they will fight me on it. Like, and the biggest thing is always gangs. Gangs is the biggest aspect of antisocialism.
And it makes sense what you said,
right? But they'll be like, no, that doesn't make sense. They're not antisocial. There's a big group of them. They talk to people. They have cookouts. They're social. They're social with each other. Like, that's not what antisocial means.
They all like the same color. So.
Yeah.
No, I got you.
No, that's going really deep. Let's go back to religion. Let's go back to religion and that broad umbrella of Christianity. Let's not get into Catholicism because we could talk for days about that bullshit. Although, I'll say as a snippet, my type of Buddhism that I kind of subscribe to, I kind of feel is the Catholics of Buddhists. I'll just say real quick, the reason why is Catholics are the only ones in Christianity that Catholics venerate saints. There's sainthood, where humans can be saintly, godly. Any other denomination of Catholics, I could think other than Episcopals maybe, because they're... You know how Jehovah's Witness was Catholic Plus? Episcopals are Catholic Light, where they practice the same mass and the same of wine and bread and all that, but their priests can like have a wife and they can marry and have a family.
And see, and that's the stuff that doesn't make sense to me. Is because like
they're Catholic Light.
Yeah, and it's like, and and going back to kind of history, with King George or King Edward or whatever his name was.
King George, the one with the Bible.
Yeah,
I read the Bible.
It was like and so he wanted a divorce, but he was Catholic, so
that's King Henry.
King Henry, there we go. He was all like, okay, well, I want to divorce this bitch. I don't like her anymore.
He formed a whole other church.
You can't because it's against your religion. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep
Church
the same
of England.
things. But I'm going to do my own thing.
King Henry VIII was actually awarded the title of Defender of the Faith of the Catholic religion when he was younger, because he was so into the church. And then when he wanted his divorce, he said, I'm the king. You're not going to give me a divorce. I'm making a whole other church.
Exactly.
Church of England, it became evangelicals, and then the people that go out on the streets and like preach Jesus, they're called evangelists too, and it goes back to the evangelic church.
It's like, and I don't know, and so like, and like that's my mindset. It's like, okay, well, if you're so dedicated to this, but you don't agree with certain aspects, I'm gonna do my own thing.
They are so into doctrine is the problem. Is what I see as the problem. Maybe it's not the problem, but I'm only human. But the problem is in why I can't subscribe to a Christian, any denomination. I feel like if I was a Christian, I'd be like a really good Christian because I'm a really good Buddhist.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But as a Christian, I would be a good Christian. The only thing I can't subscribe to is that you have to turn other people and you have to give all your stuff to this higher power when it really is just within yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, and some Christians will debate me with that. We're like, well, no, God is within me. I understand that, and that's why I do that. But at the same time, it still goes back to praise be to God. You know, and I'll never say praise be to Buddha. Like, it'll never be that similarity. Fuck, I went off on a tangent. I don't know if I nailed in the point I was trying to make.
I think, well, because what we talked about outside on the smoke break, which was like, yeah, let's get back inside and record, was about Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen, that mother.
Why do you say it so weird?
Fucker. Austin? I don't know.
Austin. It's not weird.
Who cares? Fuck that guy. That guy had to go through so much to cover his ass.
Okay.
You're gonna be real quick. Keep talking.
Yeah. So, okay, before Hurricane Harvey hit, we're in San Antonio right now. Hurricane Harvey was this giant, in case you live under a rock or in a different country, because I know people in different countries listening right now. Hurricane Harvey was this devastating hurricane that hit southern Texas, and it really affected Houston the most. It flooded it. Completely. And a lot of us were scared, border cities, I'll call them, of Houston, like San Antonio and Austin. We all kind of freaked out too, but it never actually got to us. It really just stayed in Houston. Joel Osteen is I believe he's a non-denominational pastor. If he's not non-denominational, he's definitely Baptist, but I really think he's non-denominational. He owns... So in San Antonio, we have the Alamo Dome, which is where the Spurs used to play. The Alamo Dome was our city's
main go-to
event venue.
Yeah.
And then it became the AT&T Center, and the Alamo Dome is now used for like high school, football games, college championships,
once in a lifetime concerts.
Marching Man. I remember in Marching Man we would go perform
DCI,
there, UIL, stuff like that. Houston has a similar thing where he owned. It was a similar venue. The Rockets are really popular there, and they ain't shit. I mean, they are. They're really good, but fuck them. They're just so close.
Okay, go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go. Yeah, exactly. But they, They ain't shit, but they shit still. But I mean, neither one of us would have got Golden State, anyways. But we beat them is what really matters. We really beat the Rockets. Anyways, they had their own venue, and then when they moved on and made a bigger venue, they have a new venue now. I have no idea what it's called.
Toyota Center.
Toyota. Oh, see, we're all bought by logos and shit. Anyways, that old center, Joel Osteen owns now as his church. It's a mega church. And it was a stadium for a football game. You know what I'm saying? It's huge. And he has sermons there every Sunday or something.
And they're broadcast on TV.
I mean, I think it's nationwide. I'm pretty sure it's nationwide.
I know for sure locally.
It's so locally.
My parents watch it every Sunday.
I want to say it's national, but anyways, here's why Joel Osteen ain't shit. How do you say it? Austin?
I say Austin. Joel Osteen. I just read it how it's...
Olsteen or something.
I don't know.
Pretty sure it's Olsteen.
Joel.
I'm going to call him Austin because fuck him. I'm going to fuck up his name.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Just like the Kardashians. I like to say that just to fuck with their name. So anyways, he has this giant venue that didn't flood, and he did not open it up to... We'll call them evacuees, right? Because that's what they were. They were evacuees. They had to evacuate their home. He didn't open it up until
he got all
it was closed. It was completely closed, and there was a lot of backlash on social media about him not opening up his doors. And it took like 2 days or something.
It went into a media frenzy.
It was a media frenzy.
CNN, it was everywhere.
And then he came out and said, so no one heard anything from Joel Osteen. And then eventually he came out and said, I was just waiting till the perfect time. I just wanted to make sure it didn't flood too, and meanwhile, there's video and clips of like all this thing that is dry. There's no water in it. he even had stuff implemented because Houston's such a shithole for flooding that wouldn't make it flood. Like, he even has
He took precautions.
Yeah, he had the precautions
in
there to make it a safe haven and never opened it up. So, he ain't shit because of that. And now a lot of people, even his followers, are not the diehard ones, but are kind of weighing with that. But even before that, what I'm trying to say is I still didn't like the motherfucker. Like,
no, I've never liked him. He's always... For someone that's so for the people, so for this and that, he's made so much fucking money, but
it don't make no damn sense.
I was like, he doesn't donate. It's been proven countless times he doesn't donate to the foundations. And even when it comes out, oh, I donated this one, they go like, the companies that like he says he donates to.
Well, he's a nonprofit. He gets a tax break too because that's a church.
He gets profit from that shit.
Total profit. He's never had to donate. I don't really know too much about that. I'm going to take your word for it. I imagine that's probably true because most of these motherfuckers are. I would call him a holy roller, you know what I'm saying? The ones that like to preach and just they get paid for it, and it's some
benefits
bullshit.
them.
I've always thought of Joel Osteen as a holy roller, and I feel like this really showed his true colors.
It really.
At the same time, his diehard fans are really becoming diehard fans of him though because of what he said. Like he's coming out with, I did it to be safe, and I did it to really this and that, and people are like, we will not believe.
Joel.
That's the devil talking against you, and that's the devil trying to take your word away from you, and this and that.
I saw that bullshit, and as soon as that happened, like that first Sunday that he held a sermon in his mega church. That was one of the things he talked about. I was like, okay, I'm going to bring it up. Because nobody, because I know it's a hot topic right now.
What, when he came back after the...
after the whole thing.
I saw that
and
shit.
He's all
I
like,
watched it,
I have a lot of naysayers that, said I wasn't opening my church.
Good. It's so good.
Terrible. And the crowd's all...
His voice is like molasses.
He's like, so slowly. He's
like the nigga from Georgia. He's not even from Houston. Like, why is he talking like that?
He goes, I was making sure it was safe for these families because I'm from Texas and I love my Texas.
Bullshit.
And the crowd is just fucking, yes! And he's getting a visible hard-on stage, and he's like, yes, I want your money.
How can he not with a mega church full of diehard Joel Osteen fans? Yeah.
I don't know. And that's the thing, too, that pisses me off, because I know not every religious person, there's religious people out there that they practice what they preach, they're good people all around, but it's like there's people like him out there that will benefit from saying what people want to hear. And then when it comes time to show, like, oh, hey, you talk about all this good stuff, time to prove it. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, exactly. I know, I'm not going to say a lot of Christians. I'm going to say I have enough that I know that I can respect Christianity because of them.
Exactly.
Only because they really are about it. And I'm like, you know what? It does for you what it does for me, or what my faith does. I don't even call it faith, but and I'm like, it's awesome that you're a beautiful person because of it, and that helps you. Why would I want to take that away from you? And whatever my belief is, I'm not gonna dispute you. I'm not gonna try to take that away. That's a lot. And then that's a problem too with religions. A lot of people they want to take it away from you. They want, like, atheists. I feel like mainly. I guess I don't want to seclude them. A lot of atheists that are cool too, but a lot of them are really angry about it. They really want to take something away from you. Where it's just like, you know what?
You want to prove you wrong.
It just doesn't. Yeah, and no matter what you come at me with, it's just not enough for me to take it away from me. Which is how Christians are too, and it's harder for I feel like Christian because their doctrine is so. I don't know. It's just so. Doctrinated. I mean, I don't know. I've had a lot of teachers in Buddhism where like, do you want to go and take that ancient scripture that we have isolated and go throw it in the dumpster in the trash and light on fire? Do it. You're like, you know what you're gonna have to do? You know what will happen? You're gonna have to call a plumber because it's gonna clog up the toilet. Like, that's what's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen for me doing that. We are still gonna practice it. We're still gonna know it. We're still gonna teach it, and that's good. Whereas you have a lot of Christians, like, if you pass by a Bible and pass gas, you're gonna go to hell or something. It's it's really, really. indoctrinated that you have to do this and that,
X, Y, Z, to get to heaven.
Where I've never felt that, and we're not in a Buddhist country though either, so it is a little different. So I don't know. I've been to other countries. I was about to say I've been to a lot of countries.
I was like, just
no.
Korea?
I've been to a country. I have been to a country where Christianity is like half. It's really half. It's actually half Christian. Like, take a whole, and then half of it's Christian, and then the other half, 2/3 of that half is Buddhist, and then that last third is like, who gives a fuck? So the majority is Christian. I'm like, well, they're even more diehard than Christians in America, to be honest, because they walk around with folders with, like, they're like Jehovah's Witness, but they all are, and like half the country is Jehovah's Witness. And if they see it a foreigner, they're like, what? They have like different countries, like different languages to give you like a pamphlet. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, yeah. Whereas I'm like, I feel like they would almost be able to practice Christianity better because they're not so close to the fucking core of it, but they're even worse. And I'm like, that kind of feels like a product of the faith of that religion. They're just too much. Like, they all are. Like, no matter what fucking country you go to, Christians are just fucking annoying. Like, they just are.
No, I agree.
You go to the East and they're even worse than Americans. Like, you got Jehovah's Witnesses knocking your door and Mormons every other day, but in Korea, you're gonna walk out and someone's gonna come up to you and like.
I think it's funny because like with religion, like I don't take it seriously mostly because South Park is one of my favorite shows.
I love South Park.
And I was like, they make fun of religion so much. It's like, and then Trey Parker and Matt Stone, which by the way, I don't know, this is a little factoid that I love. Trey Parker and I have the same birthday, October 19th. So I was just like, what a coincidence that this
What year was he in, do you know?
Oh, dude, he was fucking like...
How old are they? I don't know.
They're in their 40, almost 50s now.
See, I feel like when I started watching them, they weren't that old, but I guess they would... I remember when South Park Season 8 was like, Season 8's coming out, and I was like 32 or something. Like, I'm like, fuck. It's still new, like, it's still coming out.
I was like, yeah, they still make it because, like, the world doesn't stop turning and they have enough fire
They're so clever. I love South Park.
Me too. Like, I do, and, like, they're so funny, and, like, I relate to that show a lot because they bring up a lot of points. I'm like, hey, yeah, I think that's funny how they talk about that, too.
Can I say something real quick? What's
up?
kind of funny? I don't know if it's the newest episode, but it was definitely last week or the week before. I don't know if you watched it. Where it was about the Alexas. Like the Alexa or like the Google, the home system
No, I don't think you saw it, no.
Okay, it was like a week ago. Here's what's funny is that I made Mrs. Teach watch this episode, right? Because I was like, oh, it's a new episode, and it came. I almost started even. I started it over because I have DVR, and
ooh, rich.
Yeah, fancy pants. I started over, and the episode's about. I was kind of fucked up, so I don't remember completely everything. But there was a scene where Cartman has like 10 Alexas and 10 Google Homes, and
the dots or whatever.
The dots and all this shit, and he's just playing with them. He's like, Alexa, say booger fuck nuggets, and then he's like, Alexa, set an alarm for 7 a.m. And it was like, here's the thing: is the next week, Mrs. Teach, she bought us a dot, an Alexa dot or whatever.
Yeah.
She subconsciously bought that because she watched that episode because it was there. She doesn't remember the episode though. Because I read an article a week later where that episode fucked with a lot of people's Alexas that have them. Because he kept saying, Alexa, do this. So when the Alexas heard it, they did it. They set alarms for 7 a.m. They kept saying fuck nugget, bitch, or whatever, like whatever was happening. And I tried, like today, we got the Alexa come in. I was like, babe, you remember... I made you watch that. I was trying to, like, in her words, I'm like, you remember that stupid cartoon with the kids or that you don't like? She's like, yes. I'm like, you remember when he did? And she was like, what? Like, I'm like, you bought this because you subconsciously wanted one because like you saw it. Like, it's so clever. I'm going back to just how clever South Park is.
Well, speaking of South Park, I watched an episode that cracked me the fuck up. It was about Timmy. What's up?
I'm wondering if we should cut and do another episode, or if you want us to keep this one rolling.
We can keep this one rolling. It's the first
I'm
episode.
down. Okay, I'm just saying.
You know how like they say like
it's an hour in though. I mean, people might.
Hey, you know what? Those are gonna be our dedicated fans,
There you
man.
go. Listen to letters.
I was like, they'll be the ones that give us questions. And then even if we do it in 2 parts, it's like episode 1, part 1. Episode
Can
1,
you
part
cut
2.
it? Anyways, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, that's for
Who
side
cares?
notes.
Who
Who cares? But no, do you remember the show? An old cartoon, like it's older than us, like before we were even thought of. Like it's from like the 60s or so. A TV show called Wacky Races. It was a cartoon.
No.
You don't remember that cartoon?
Wacky Races?
It was like about like
racists or races?
Races, RACES.
Okay.
And like so there was like the main villain of the show, his name was like Dick Dastardly. He was a guy with a funny hat and a mustache, and he had a pet dog, and the dog would like he would create a plan and the dog would go
That does sound really familiar.
Right?
Yes.
Like I watched this episode of South Park where Timmy, he creates like a parody of Uber. He calls it Handy Car. And if you're a handy car driver, you get to wear a hat and it's called your handicap. Because Timmy is paralyzed and he's in the wheelchair and stuff. So like he's always like he's raising money for his special needs camp.
This is a South Park episode.
This is a South Park episode. It was one of the it was a few seasons ago. And so there's a little boy in that camp that's supposed to be raising money that he doesn't want to go to camp. But he's trying to foil Timmy's plans of raising money. So each time he keeps creating a plan, it backfires on him. So eventually he hooks up with the guy that created the Tesla cars. And then they're like, oh yeah, like our Tesla cars are so better, let's do a race. And they're like, oh yeah, it's Wacky Races Reunion.
And they go to the future?
No, they stay in the current. Yeah,
okay.
They
I'll think of another episode then.
They go and have a wacky race, like the cartoon, and it sounds like the guy that hosted the cartoon and like the narrator voice and everything, and it's so funny.
It, maybe.
It's fucking hysterical.
But 6 is fuck. I don't know. How do you know that? Why is this?
It used to be on that. Do you remember that Cartoon Network channel, Boomerang? It used to play it on Boomerang a lot, and I used to watch
I'm thinking about the dog snickering with Duck Hunt too, though, because I'm Duck Hunt. Yeah.
Yeah, it was similar like that. Like it's how the dog would laugh.
I'll have to watch it.
It's funny though.
You know, my favorite South Park episode is, and it's a newer one actually. I mean, maybe a couple seasons ago, maybe last year. I don't really remember. I don't keep up. I haven't kept up that much.
No, there's too much.
And I haven't had cable for a long. I've had cable very sporadically throughout my adult life, but the one is where it's Stan and I love it. It's so clever. It's so good. It's like, but no one appreciates it. It's so good. Stan, his friends, Cartman and Kyle and Kenny, they're playing this new, I think it's dubstep or something, or electro music, and Stan starts the speaker that's playing the music. They're like, "Yeah, Stan, don't you like this music? It's so good." And all he hears is like, like farting noises.
It sounds like shit.
And shit.
Oh, and when he goes to the doctor?
No, hold on. Let me explain the episode. So he's like, dude, that sounds like shit. Like, and it's like, when you're watching it, he's like, it sounds like someone's taking a literal shit. Like, and they're like, bro, this is like the hottest, fucking newest, dopest fucking music out there. Like, this is so awesome. He's like, all I hear is shit. And it's so clever because like when like someone says like it sounds like shit, but he like is literally hearing shit, right?
Yeah.
And he can't, and through the episode he can't relate to his friends because everything they do starts sounding like shit. Even when they start talking, all he's hearing is like farting and like I don't know if he sees like shit coming out their mouth. I might be making that up, but
no, it's true. Yeah,
he just starts coming out their mouth or something, right? He's like, I don't know what's going on. Just everything is like shit. Everything sounds like shit. Everything is shit. And like these people come Matrix style, and they're like, you've exceeded the Matrix. Like this, everything is shit. Everything is shit in this world. We know how to get you back, and let's get back in it so you can help more people get out. Which I love the Matrix because the Matrix is such a Buddhist movie with bodhisattvas and Buddhas and being enlightened and coming back into the world, which is a whole different aspect. There's such a like derogatory sense of the situation, but the way they get him back into the Matrix or to be able to listen to shit and do it sounds good is they have this giant bottle of whiskey that they just shove into his mouth, and he's like, oh, everything's so great. The world is so awesome. Everything's like blossoming, and I love you, Kyle. He gives, I love you, Kyle. And then Kyle's like, dude, you're fucking drunk. He's fucking drunk. That's what blossoms him throughout the shit. Like, I don't know. I love that episode because I feel that way.
I like when he talks to the doctor, when the doctor's like, yeah, you have become a cynical asshole.
A cynical asshole, yes.
And then the doctor keeps talking, and that's when...
Oh, this shit starts coming out. He's like, I'm like, it's how I read
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm like, yes, Stan, I fucking know what you're talking about. I'm like...
No, for real, dude.
I take the same pill to come back.
It took me a while to get to that, but that's a great point. It's like, you know, I have a lot of friends, which you're only a couple years older than me, but like I have friends that
I feel like I'm decades older than you or something.
Really? I was like, I'm about to be 23 in a month a month yesterday.
But you're 22.
I'm 22 right now.
You're a child.
I'm a child. So like it took me a while to get there, but like I'm at the point now where like when I listen to songs on the radio or like when I see certain shows, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, is this? Like, the one point I make really valid, is a song called Bodak Yellow by Cardi B.
Oh, I saw your post about that today.
Yeah,
that was great. That was great.
She makes the songs for the girls that wear...
You should explain to me, yeah.
It was a thing that says Cardi B makes music for girls that used to eat hot Cheetos and pickles for breakfast in high school, which is true.
You know, what's funny is that if you're not San Antonio, that probably doesn't make a lot of sense.
Probably not. I know that's like a San Antonio thing.
Yeah.
If not San Antonio, a Texas thing.
I guarantee that's a San Antonio thing.
I think Texas is like the ghetto state of the United States of America.
No, I don't believe. No, San Antonio is the ghetto city of... Well, I already say Houston. I think
Houston is the ghetto but city. They're kind of destroyed right now.
I know. I'm always like, I hate Houston. Like I don't even believe God, but praise God that He saved whoever He did. But at the same time, fuck Houston. I fucking hate Houston.
As long as Paul Wall is safe.
I really hot Cheetos and pickles. I really feel is exclusive to San Antonio. But yes, Cardi B, that song that
I don't get it. It doesn't.
You
make
know
sense
what
to me.
though? I was never a big fan of the song because it's like.
I know.
You know what's funny is that randomly, like with my chick, like I will verse it, like I just randomly.
I know, like
just
like
to sound stupid though. It's like, how does the first word? It's like,
I know it's like you wanted to a bitch.
Yeah,
like that. It's like.
You can't fuck with me. Oh, fuck, I can't think
if you wanted to. Like, I don't know.
I move money. Some bullshit. Yeah, it's some... I'm really good at it when I don't... If I'm not on record saying it. But, and I never liked the song. It was actually like a very comical, just kind of like... trying to sound ratchet because the song is so ratchet, like, and I think
she's trying to sound relatable.
But I was at a club this last weekend where they played it, and it did kind of go hard. Like you did kind of get into it when you're with all the, you know what I mean? Like when you're in the
mood,
right.
Like, oh shit, like,
which is probably where the song in our country so probably resonates the most. And then like it trickles down to San Antonio, Texas. It's like on the radio, it kind of sucks. I didn't really like it either.
No, I don't.
But when I was in the scene of it, I feel like when I was in the scene where it was appropriate, it was pretty cool. But I still can't listen to it on the radio. Like I still won't like leave it on. But if I'm at the club, it was pretty cool. Like,
but that's the thing. The beat goes hard.
Also, Kim got one of these like.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean? Like
he did the Cam Newton dance. There he goes.
Yeah, you know.
Like the beat goes hard. I will give it that. But it's like the lyrics is what puts it off.
Fuck with me if you wanted to.
Yeah, there you go.
I make money move. That's just last
something about designer shoes or something.
Yeah. These are red beats. These are killer. Fuck. I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Sad that you know more lyrics than me, but whatever. Who cares?
Who cares?
But no, it's like, and like Leslie didn't like that song, but now Leslie's really into it, and so like when it comes on the radio, she turns it up. And I used to be that way. Like one person I used to hate that I got a lot of shit for was I hated The Weeknd. Like the week ND, because like it's WEKND. So it's like I used to hate him. I used to fucking hate him, especially that.
Life's too short.
Exactly. Like I hated that. Like I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
but I love it.
I hated that song, and I would like furiously like press the fucking channel.
I know what I hated was it came out like in a kids music award, and I'm like,
it's about cocaine.
Yeah,
like,
you can't play that on the music awards.
But like
kids music awards.
They played that so much, and then there was a song I was like, okay, they don't play this on the radio, but I like it, called "In the Night." In the night.
Oh yeah, I fucks with The Weeknd. I do.
And now I do. Like I love him, but it's
Yeah.
like, and I used to be that way. No man, I fucking hate this song. Oh, but then they played it so much. Oh, okay, now I like it. But with Bodak Yellow especially, no. 21 Savage, Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi Vert, all these people of today.
You know what? Why fuck with broccoli? I Spy.
No, I can't. No, I Spy. Come on.
I Spy with my little light.
Boo.
Shawty, I can get bitch too many likes, and that's what I always sing. Life's too short to hate on popular music, and I really live by that, because like, even like, okay, like I came from kind of a metal or rock background too, because like I was really into System of a Down,
Yes.
and Lamb of God, but more their last CD, or the last CD for me was fuck no, I can't think.
Was the one with Redneck?
Fuck, I can't. It's it was in 20. It came out in 2009.
Sacrament? I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Well, anyways, and Five Finger Death Punch, and like I liked Avenged Sevenfold.
I liked them, yeah.
And that was and back in the day I was ashamed about that shit. That was like, that's how into the scene I was, where like, you don't really talk about like an Avenged Sevenfold, like, and people were like, Avenged Sevenfold, what the fuck is that? Like, like,
I thought I still think they're really heavy.
Them.
Like,
I
thought
them.
they were. I consider
They're
them
not
heavy metal.
heavy.
I consider them heavy metal.
I would consider them light metal. I love Korn. Like, Korn is my shit. So I did come from that background, and then I really only started listening to hip hop when I met Mrs. Teach, because she was really, and we've kind of like, I guess I've gone more towards her side, but she really came a ways too, a little bit. Like, she likes System of a Down, this and that, but System of a Down's old, like, and we listen to all their old shit, but nowadays we just listen to hip hop.
Ichima! Underwater ska!
Arigato!
Yeah.
Chulesa, what's up? Arigato, what's up?
There we go.
No, that's Japanese. See, that part that goes hard is Japanese. It's not even Korean. But that's a Korean song.
Yeah.
Ichima means remember me.
Beep, beep,
beep, beep, beep. Yeah.
Song goes
soju. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah.
But you guys listen to hip hop, and
so now I am geared. I kind of feel like rock is kind of a dying. I almost feel like it's like a disco thing going.
No,
on.
it really.
I really feel like it's going. It's like extinction almost. Like, I mean, I know there's underground stuff and there's still a lot of things living. But for how long? I mean, you can't make a lot of money off that.
And with that being said, because again, being a huge metalhead, and the main thing of metal that I listen to is all the 80s.
Not to fuck with anyone. Don't get mad at me for saying that rock is like disco, but I really feel it's going in that direction.
It is. It really is a dying art. Because if you look at it this way,
definitely not as quick.
Exactly. It's like the bands of today. Imagine who they looked up to: Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. It's like, but those bands, they're done. They're doing anniversary tours of their albums. They're done.
Yeah.
And I agree, but the thing that sucks for me is because I started listening to these bands when I was a kid. Because my dad is the metalhead, the one that introduced me to King Diamond, and Judas Priest, and all these, different bands. They're doing farewell tours. They're doing, anniversary of their first album tours. They're doing XYZ, they're doing this, and that. And it's like, I was really heartbroken that I missed Metallica when they came to San Antonio.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Because the same day Metallica was in San Antonio, I checked into Vegas when we were going to EDC Las Vegas. Which, granted,
that's a shame.
It was, but I already had the trip booked and paid for and everything.
Yeah.
Because I remember waking up the day of when the World Wire
you did
tour.
Your anti-cross.
Yeah, I was like, the upside down cross and everything. Yeah. It's like, and I was like, oh, I woke up super early on purpose to be awake for the announcement of the tour. They posted it and everything, and I was like, yeah, because I love Metallica. I've never seen them live. Since I've been alive and that I've listened to Metallica, Metallica has only come to San Antonio twice. And that was once when the summer going into freshman year on the Death Magnetic tour. And now this past summer on the World Wire tour.
The third time they've come to
the second time.
Oh, fuck!
Exactly. And then as a freshman, I didn't have money. Exactly.
What are you going to do?
So I woke up early. They announced it, and I was, I'm not even looking at dates. I'm not looking at venue. I'm just looking at the city. I see San Antonio smack dab in the middle. I get teary-eyed.
I remember the post. You posted about it.
I got fucking teary-eyed because I was like, holy shit, I'm going to finally see Metallica. They're not my favorite band, but I love them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, I'm going to see Metallica. And I was sitting in that toilet right there, taking my morning dump, reading the tour. Like, I was like, oh my, without even looking at it. And I was like, babe, they're coming to San Antonio. Oh my god. Babe, they're coming to San Antonio.
We didn't cross-reference the dates though yet?
Not yet.
You just knew they were coming to San Antonio.
I just saw San Antonio, Texas, and I was like, oh my god, and it's in the summer. Oh my god. Oh, and Leslie's like, that's cool, babe. That's so awesome. Like,
Leslie.
She's happy for me. Yeah.
Okay, babe.
She's like, okay. And I'm like, babe.
Yes, dear.
And I was like, and they're going on tour with Avenged Sevenfold and Volbeat. Oh my god.
Shit.
Oh my god. Like, I was freaking out. She goes, well, when are they coming? Wednesday, June 13th. Wednesday, June 13th. And she goes, babe. And I was like, what? And I was like, when's Wednesday, June 13th? She goes, and she comes into the bathroom from the bedroom. She goes,
mid shit.
Yeah, I'm still taking a shit. She goes, babe, that's the day we check into Vegas. And I was like, no. And I got on my I didn't believe her. I was like, no. Get on my calendar. No, I legit started crying, dude. Like, I cried. Like, I don't care how that makes me sound.
Well, yeah.
I was
sacrificed something, damn.
I was
Second time they came to San Antonio.
I was fucking devastated. And I'm
At least you gave something up.
Exactly.
You couldn't give away the Vegas tickets.
I was like, no. I was like,
away those tears.
I was like, high school. I was like, EDC. I was like, I wanted to go to. But it's like, the point I was trying to make was like, the bands that I loved and grew up on, they're no longer doing anything.
Yeah.
They're sitting back on their millions, their royalties. Yeah. It's like, damn.
The thing is, too, is that I have to piss. But okay, there was a lot of extremism with their type of genre.
Thrash metal.
They did, yeah. You know what I mean? Which nowadays is kind of, it's not that extreme anymore.
It's not. It's really not.
And the thing is that there's so many bands. You ever see what's the movie? It's a shitty movie with the girl from Transformers, the original Megan Fox. She's a succubine. Jennifer's
Body, yeah.
Jennifer's Body. There's a scene where the guy, where they sacrifice the girl. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it.
Right.
They sacrificed Megan Fox. It was supposed to be a virgin to become this awesome metal band because he even says, we're all so cute. We're all so good. And there's so many of us bands, indie cute bands that just are so extreme and devil worshippers. We actually did kill the virgin though, and in the movie she's not a virgin, so they become like vampires or something. I don't fucking know. I actually did see that with Jay. Oh fuck.
It's all good. He's saying her name scrambled.
Yeah, exactly. It's backwards. Anyways, there are so many of the bands that are like, good-looking bands, extreme bands, and then there's like the devil worship aspect is like played, like, they got I remember I used to be into the industrial Satanists, Cyclone 9?
I remember them, yeah.
Cyclone 9, right? That was the shit. That was like so extreme. Like Cyclone 9, they were like industrial fucking metal and like devil worshipping and like they really fucking like, and their drum was so intense, like only the Satan could fucking play drums like that. Like they're so intense. And nowadays it's like they ain't shit. You know what I mean? Like how many I could like throw a shoe and hit a band like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's just
in San Antonio alone.
Well, and the thing is that even rap artists are the same way too on the other spectrum. But at the same time, the ones that really make it versus on the rock side, they just don't make it. Like even if you're really popular, you're only really popular within your genre, and the genre is not that much. Nowadays, it just isn't. In my head, and I'm just a spectator, but. And you are actually a big voyeur of the genre.
I am. I really consider myself like, and I get really.
But are there ever venues that really sell out, like like The Weeknd or Kanye West? And I'm only giving general.
Kanye West I've actually seen in concert, and they advertise it as sold out, but my mom was able to buy tickets.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so it's like, because I went to go see Kanye West. And that was back when Kendrick Lamar was still first popping up on his first album. With the Good Kid, Mad City or whatever.
Well, even then, the fucking publicity is on their side more than, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get you. The only, like, actual true, sold out shows that I've been to have been Iron Maiden, King Diamond, these actual heavy metal bands, these bands that are like, have these reputations, for decades upon decades. Black Sabbath was another one that sold out instantaneously. And other sold out shows that I've been to have been like WWE pay-per-view events. I'm a big wrestling fan as well. So these kinds of things are the only things that I've ever been to that are sold out, truthfully. You look around and every single seat has somebody in it. So like with metal, because a lot of the bands now that I listen to, as far as like talking about selling out, a lot of the bands that I listen to now are playing these little clubs, playing these little bars, playing these little, like, what I consider like local band venues. Like anytime Cannibal Corpse now comes to San Antonio, they're playing at the Aztec Theater, which a lot of, cover bands and stuff play at, not a lot of huge acts. So it's like Cannibal Corpse has been around since the 80s, and they have a huge following, but they're only playing like 5,000 max capacity places. But when they get booked for festivals, they're playing to crowds, in front of like 40,000, 50,000 people. So it's like, I really guess it just gets on the booking, but we're already at an hour and a half, and I think we really covered a lot of ground here.
You did cover a lot of ground.
I was like, this is just the first episode. I'm pretty sure the other episodes will be shorter.
Okay. Alright, fuck it.
I can see hour. Whatever. Yeah. Right?
And definitely an hour. Maybe
for sure.
Hour
15, hour and a half.
I like to drink too, so.
And then we get carried away because we're drinking and talking. This is literally how me and Teach, like when we hang out, this is what happens. We talk. Think about what we started what did we start the episode with? About ourselves. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck did we talk about? About ourselves, and now we ended up talking about metal music. We went from religion to South Park, from South Park to music to Cardi B.
What's funny is that I remember the segues though. They make sense. They're there. They really are there. It all makes sense.
Everything stems from the first topic that we ever talked to.
It's all fucking meaty. Like, it's good shit. Like,
but who cares?
Who cares? Yeah, fuck it.
And if you listen to this, awesome. If you didn't, who cares?
Who cares?
We had fun doing it.
I had a good time, yeah.
I had fun.
Oh, I was looking forward to it all day, to be honest. I've been looking for it all week. Too. Yeah.
I was like, I can't wait to record with you. And so yeah.
It's nice to just drink and just talk and just being good company. Out. Yeah, and being good fucking company.
We deal with so much shit on a daily basis that it's like,
yeah,
these are really the times that you live for. And to kind of say one last thing before we sign off is that I've met a lot of people in my life for just being a 22-year-old. I've done a lot of things. I've accomplished a lot of things in my life. And I can really say that you and a select few of other people are really some of the closest friends that I've ever made in my life. And it's conversations like this, because we met, I was technically your boss. And now we're like fucking drinking at my place. It's like, this is so awesome. But I really appreciate you. That's why I'm really excited.
You would bring that out, wouldn't you?
Had to brag about that a little bit. If you listen, I'm glad. If not, fuck you.
Mm-hmm. And if it is a fuck you, tell us about it.
Respond to my fuck you.
Email at us at whocarespodcast210@gmail.com. Give us a big old fuck you and tell us why fuck you, and just I'll shout you out if you want.
We'll bring it up. We'll talk shit about you and your family.
Let's hear about it. Let's talk about it for sure.
But until next time, thank you for listening.
Appreciate it.
Deuces, y'all.